be streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag.
This thing going. We got personal watercraft in the lanes. First up in the Superior Audio Sounds left-hand lane is going to be boat number 65. That is Raven Broadway. He calls the boat the Golden Child. Dialed in at 11.10. Sponsored by Family Power Sports, Spring Creek Marina and RV Park, where strangers become family. Petroplex Oil Field Services, RV Repairs. His crew, Kent Elliott, or the RV repair crew, there we go. Kent Elliott Roofing, Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars. Your business is our hobby. Miss Matthews, T-shirts and more, bottled up, and Papa with the bald head. And in the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 476 is Henry Rogers. He's driving Steve Pruitt's machine. Call that one, bring me a beer and watch this. Dialed in at a 1077 out of Cement, Oklahoma. Sponsored by Hold My Beer and Watch This, Swan Pipeline Services, Big Dog Consulting Services, and Swan Transportation. All right, here we go. Raven Broadway. Dialed in at 11.10, ran a 1076 with a 2. 1076 with a 2 for a 67 mile an hour pass. 42 hundredths of a second for his reaction time. And Henry Rogers on the other side turned it red by 32 thousandths of a second. Dialed in at a 1077, ran an 1123. A little slower than what he thought, but it's good enough to give him the number one spot for a moment. I would not expect that to hold for long, though. We'll see how that goes. How'd you sleep? All right, here comes our next pair of personal watercraft. In the Superior Audio Sounds left lane is boat number 1469, Colton Byler. He calls that ski stretch, dialed in at a 13 and 75. And in Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, Lynn Blackburn calls that one doing time 2. And she dialed in at 1071, or no, a 10.5, excuse me. She ran at 1071, and that'll move her up to the number one qualifier. Turned it red by 11 hundredths of a second. Colton Byler a little slow coming off the line, two seconds on the wrong side of that decimal point. And then ran a little fast, dialed in at a 13.75, ran a 12.69. Is your final call for personal watercraft? Personal watercraft is your final call. Stock eliminator, need you both to the in-ramp, please. Stock eliminator, need you to the in-ramp. Modified eliminator, need you guys warmed up and ready to go. Top eliminator, grab your gear. Guys are on deck. All right, next up, got another one of our personal watercraft in the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane. Boat number 255 is Cade Janisek. 2019 Rookie of the Year, sponsored by JP&E, Kirkland Marine, DBR, RFC, David Kirkland Racing, and special thanks to Phil Kirkland for loaning us a motor. Cade calls that boat all or nothing. And actually, that's not a personal watercraft. That's going to be stock eliminator. Going to be a driver's test license pass. So he's licensing into Pro Modified. We're getting ready to let that one run, but you see this boat right here in front of me? That's Big Jimmy Todd sitting right there. And that is one of our rescue boats. The other one's sitting over here by the dock. Those guys, what we want to see them do all day today is basically what they're doing right now. Just cruise around the lake and enjoy the day. That's what we want. But if we need them, they are ready, and they will take care of business faster than you can imagine. They got divers on those boats. They got EMTs on those boats, and they've got firefighters on those boats. They're ready to handle just about anything that might happen on the water. They can take care of it. And they are second to none. Super lucky to have them. And then there's Johnny Love right here. This little John boat. Yeah, somewhere over there. This guy, he keeps us moving. We have any kind of course issue, track issue, anything like that, he's the guy. He runs out there, takes care of it real fast, and gets us moving. Also provides all kinds of other support for everybody, so we're happy for him and thankful. All right, Cade Janisek making a license pass. There's 1 second on the countdown. Here we go. Nope, didn't go in gear. We need trailer for boat number 255 back to the old emergency in-ramp, please. Boat number 255, we need that truck and trailer back to the old emergency in-ramp, please. All right, next up we got Tyler Bame and the Slippery Pickle, boat number 572. In the left lane, he's making a safety pass. Yeah, he's actually pitted right next to me. and got a whole lot of new stuff on that boat, trying to put it all back together and get into competition. He thinks he's got it squared away. We will find out. I actually helped him put the blower on there yesterday. Well, it looked good and it sounded good, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see if he's happy with it. Tyler Bame and the slippery pickle. The one-eyed pickle driving the slippery pickle. He had something in his eye all day yesterday, trying to work on that boat with one eye shut. Next up, we got another license pass, going to be in the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane. Boat number 465 is Chad Cuppet out of Broken Bow, Oklahoma. He's actually pitted right next to me on the other side. Calls that boat Warpath. Should be a pro eliminator on a 6.5 index, but I believe he's just going to run a half-track pass for us right now. All right, here he comes, Chad Cuppet and Warpath. There's your half-track pass. Looked pretty good to me, but I'm not the one in charge of making that decision. Looks like we got some more of our personal watercrafts finally to the in-ramp. So we'll get those guys running here very shortly. We are in the first round of qualifying for the showdown in San Angelo. We are in round one. And I have been told just recently, you guys are getting it hot off the presses. The plan as it stands right this minute is for the top fuel hydros to be on the water at about 9:30 this morning for qualifying. That is the plan. What I have learned over the years is top fuel works at their own pace, so we will see how that works. Hopefully they will be there. Once they get on the water, their pace is fast as heck, but before that, takes a lot to make those boats run and keep them safe and do what they need to do. I'm giving them a hard time, but we want them to make sure everything is safe and ready to go. All right, here we go. We got ourselves a pair personal watercraft I'm going to have to hurry because they're going to be running right now. In the Superior Audio Sounds left lane is Jacob Nodler. Calls that boat long time coming, boat number 357. He's dialed in at a 13 flat. In the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane is boat number 412K. That's going to be Addison Lees. Calls that one Fire Starter. Dialed in at a 12 flat. Check this out. Jacob Nodler just managed to bump himself into the number one qualifying spot. 4 thousandths of a second for a reaction time. Dialed in at 13 flat, ran a 13:03. That is a super sweet run right there. He's going to be happy. Last call for stock eliminator. Last call for stock eliminator. Modified eliminator. We're ready for your boats at the in-ramp, please. Modified eliminator. Bring them to the in-ramp. Top eliminator. Go ahead and start warming them up. Get ready. Top eliminator. Warm them up and get ready. Pro eliminator. You guys are on deck. Grab your gear. Put the plug in the boat. Make sure you got fuel. Batteries charged up. All that good stuff is ready to go. Don't forget to fill those air bottles. Whatever else you need to do.
Wow.
So as I was saying earlier, you hear them warming up back over there. Top Fuel Hydro scheduled to be in the water at 9:30 this morning. So if you got friends that are coming to watch and they're not here yet, you might call them. Tell them to work their way down. Hopefully everything goes well and we get those guys on the water and put on a heck of a show for you. We'll see how that goes. We're going to put on a show all day long, but man, there's nothing like watching Top Fuel run. All right, so we've got a bunch of vendors set up back here in Vendor Row. Back behind the timing tower along the road by the water. We got Drag Boat Review sitting back there, San Angelo RVs, Mimi's Busy Bees, Sings My Soul Boutique, Lone Star IV Medics. I said earlier, it is supposed to be hot, like 101, 102. I don't think that's quite Phoenix hot, but it's definitely Central Texas hot. So make sure you stay hydrated, but if you start feeling poorly, you might go by and see the folks at Lone Star IV Medics. Audio, sound, and window tinting is set up back here. West Texas Country Designs and Hawkins Golf Carts. All those folks back here set up as vendors. So if you get a moment, wander back there and say hello, see what they have to offer you. I know there's a couple of vendors back there that are offering raffles and whatnot, so come on back. Oh, they snuck in some boats on me. In the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 238, Catch Me If You Can, they call that one. That is Shelby Hudgens. Sponsored by Magnum Trailers, American Fiberglass Repair, Roosters Repair, and special thanks to Todd at Magnum Boats. She dialed in at a 16.5 and ran a 15.59 with a 2, 15.59 with a 2. And in the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 117 is Brandon Lampard, calls the ski Megalodon. And he dialed in at a 14.5, ran a 14.689. That'll move him into the number 2 qualifying spot. Shelby Hudgens got there almost a full second too fast, and it was only good enough for that number 7 spot. But she's got 2 more rounds of qualifying to see if she can fix that. I do want to remind you real quick, we are broadcasting live on FM, 87.9 FM. We'll get you all of our announcing live and in person wherever you happen to be if you've got an FM radio. So be sure and tune in if you're having a hard time hearing wherever you're at. I can't imagine that being the case. We got speakers everywhere. All right, your next pair of personal watercraft in the Superior Audio Sounds left lane is going to be boat number 762. That is Delaney Head. Calls that one Head Start. Driving neighbor John's boat. And in the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane is Angelo Shaw. She's driving Bein' Bad, boat number 004. So Delaney Head turns it red by 8/10 of a second, rather. And then on a 1275 dial in, ran a 1341 with a 4. 1341 with a 4 for a 55-mile-an-hour pass. Angelo Shaw turned it red by 13 thousandths of a second. Won't hurt them in qualifying, but they're going to need to dial that in before tomorrow. Dialed in at a 13.3, ran a 13.56 with a 5, and that'll move her to the number 4 qualifying spot. All right, so as I was saying, as I finished up the vendor stuff, don't forget to visit the SDBA merchandise trailer that's also set up back here on Vendor Row. Emily's got a whole bunch of stuff back there. She's got all SDBA stuff. They've got hats, curved flat rim, either one. They've got Curtis 500 boat shirts. They've got Trinity Ministry shirts. They've got shirts from J. Hudgens Aquaholic, Nitro Nuts, Liquid Voodoo, Wisco Tangy Foxtrot, Bad Company, Little More Therapy, Wild Thing, and they have your event shirts for the showdown in San Angelo. So you can go by and check that out. All right, moving into stock eliminator. These guys are still running on a dial-in. 9 seconds is the fastest. Oh, they got Don't Blink shirts over there, I just got told. In the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 84 is Don Topliff. He calls that one the Bullet, dialed in at a 12.2. First time racer this season. He's been here all season long. Dr. Topliff is vice president at Angelo State University. In the Hawkins Golf Cars right-hand lane is boat number 424, Rodney Blackstock. He calls that one Plum Crazy. And here we go. Man, we got a whole lot of boats in this class. Looks like 15 or so. That's pretty cool. So let's see. Don Topliff, the Bullet, was in the left lane. 0.5 of a second for his reaction time. 12.2 was the dial-in. He ran an 11.95 with an 8. 11.95 with an 8 for a 65-mile-an-hour pass. Rodney Blackstock in the right lane, Plum Crazy. Dialed in a 9 flat, ran a 9.16 with a 3, 9.16 with a 3, 46 hundredths of a second for his reaction time. And as of right now, that'll make him number 1 and 2, but since we've only had 2 boats, we'll see how long that holds up. All right, here comes your next pair in the Superior Audio Sounds left lane. Boat number 746 is Blackie Bame. He calls that one Blackie's Magic. Racing out of Rio Medina, Texas. Sponsored by Snyder Motorsports, Mickey and Glenda and Sons. Bob and Marla Winder, Oscar and Jacinda. Marley Ranch, Dave and Jana. Lily Construction. Rodney and Pam Piper. Athora Stage and his wife Linda, and Crypt Water Sports. And in the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 033 is Walter Doolin. Do it again, Doolin, the name of the boat. Dialed in at a 10 flat. Special thanks to Rhonda Bridges, 10 Christian, Dwayne Kunkel, and Billy Harris. Blackie Beam, now your number one qualifier. He dialed in at a 10:55, ran a 10:70 with an 8, 10:708. And Walter Doolin on the other side dialed in at a 10 flat, and then ran an 11:87 with a 5. So as I was saying, the personal watercraft, stock eliminator, and there's one more class, but they are dial-in classes. So they're going to come up here, they're going to tell us what they think the boat will run. 9 seconds is the top of the limit for the stock eliminator class. If they want to run faster than that, they got to figure out how to get closer to 8 and run in modified eliminator. But either way, they will come up, they will tell the starter what they think the boat's going to run. We'll plug it into the computer, and then it's up to them to make it happen. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But right now, in the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 878 is Glenn Castions. Calls that one Agua Patina. Dialed in at a 14 and 5. In the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 817 is Stephen Russell and the Harry Canary, sponsored by AE Show, Outlaw Crew, Eagle Motorsports, and special thanks to Rick Gordon. Here we go. Stephen Russell did a great job there of sitting tight. It's really hard sometimes when you're the faster boat. There was almost a 5-second difference between those two boats. And it's hard to sit there and watch the other guy leave and not red light, and he did that. He got it done, 1900ths of a second for a reaction time, and on a 9.4 dial-in, ran a 9.65 with a 1 for a 78-mile-an-hour pass. Glenn Castions on the other side, 6/10, a little over 6/10 of a second for a reaction time, and ran a 15.47 with a 6, 15.47 on a 14.5 dial-in. Here comes our Knox pair of stock eliminators. As I said, it looks like we got about 15 boats in the field. So, huge class this morning. We're super stoked to see that. In the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 061 is Frank Mummy. Break out another 1,000, the name of that boat, racing out of San Antonio, Texas. And in the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 1457 is Zachary Watson. He calls that one Chicks Dig It, sponsored by T-Shirts and More, Central Texas Jets, Anytime Air and Electric, Mills Market, Fishman, and WCR Construction. He's dialed in at a 9 flat. Frank Mummy dialed in at a 10 flat.
So I was wondering which San Angelo race we got this information from.
Frank Mummy turns it red at the small end of the course, 92 thousandths of a second too fast, and then dialed in at a 10 flat, ran a 10.22 for a 79-mile-an-hour pass, and that's good enough to put the number 3 qualifying spot. Zachary Watson dialed in a 9, ran a little fast. He broke out by a little over 27 hundredths of a second, ran an 8.72 with a 2 on an 89-mile-an-hour pass. And that'll put him in the number 8 qualifying spot. If you're going to be out here tomorrow, come out a little early. Y'all heard Brother Mike earlier do the invocation for us. Trinity Racing Ministries, and they will be having a non-denominational chapel service tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. That'll be held down here at the start line end of the course in the VIP tent, and anyone and everyone is welcome. Come on out. Have a little church service before we get started with racing tomorrow morning. That'll be at 8 o'clock down here at the VIP tent down at the far end of the course by the start line. We do have a few food vendors out here too, so if you didn't get breakfast or you didn't get some coffee yet this morning or whatever the case may be, Big Baron's Top End Grub is set up in the pit area. And they've got great food back there for the racers, but I'm sure if you wandered your way back there, you could probably get yourself some grub. Also, the Snack Shack is set up here. They've got hamburgers, chicken strips, corn dogs, fried Oreos, fresh lemonade, and snow cones. Break time, too, with snow cones and ice cream set up out there. Modified Eliminator, if you're not already there, you guys should be at the in-ramp. Modified Eliminator. If you're not already there, you guys should be at the in-ramp. Top Eliminator, you guys should be warmed up, ready to go. And Pro Eliminator, you guys should be grabbing your gear and standing by. You're on deck. All right, here comes our next pair for Stock Eliminator in the Superior Audio Sounds left-hand lane is boat number 707. That is Natasha Cruz. She calls that boat Cracker Jack, dialed in at a 10.6. In the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane, Michael Ratliff, boat number 169, calls that one Capital Punishment, dialed in at a 9.4. Modified Eliminator, this is your final call to the in-ramp, please. Modified Eliminator, your final call to the in-ramp. Top Eliminator, go ahead and bring them to the rope. Top Eliminator, bring them to the in-ramp. Pro Eliminator, start warming them up and get ready. Quick Eliminator, you guys will be up after that. Be ready. Be calling you shortly. All right, Natasha Cruz, 1.04 seconds for a start, and then ran a 9.99 with a 4. 9.99 with a 4 on a 10 flat. Good, man. That'll put her in number 10 qualifying spot. And Michael Ratliff in the right lane. Now did a 9.4, ran a 9.66 with a 3. 9.66 with a 3. 27 hundredths of a second for that reaction time. So I have just been notified that on our SDBA merchandise trailer, we just added shirts from Don't Blink, Say When, and Out of Reach. Those are all over there, as well as all the other ones we have. In the Superior Audio Sounds left-hand lane is boat number 80. That is CD Word. Calls that boat Worst Case Scenario, racing out of San Angelo, Texas. Sponsored by Flying F Farms. Dialed in at a 9 flat. In the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 982 is Dusty Peterson. All the way over here from Los Alamos, New Mexico. Calls that boat Collusion. He's dialed in at a 9.5. All right, here we go. We got 12 seconds on the countdown. CD Word, Worst Case Scenario in the left lane. Dusty Peterson, Collusion in the right. Stock Eliminator first round of qualifying. Couple of 9-second machines up there. Here they come. That's how you get it done right there. CD Word takes the number 3 qualifying spot. He dialed in at a 9 flat, ran a 917 with a 6. 917 and 6. Dusty Peterson on the other side, a little bit slower than I think he wanted. Anyway, he dialed in at a little faster rather. Anyway, dialed in at a 9.5, ran a 947 with a 9. Missed it by, I don't know, 28 thousandths of a second. And that'll put him in the number 9 qualifying spot in the first round. We'll see how it goes. We still got 2 more rounds. They got plenty of time to fix it. Top Eliminator, need your boats at the in-ramp, please. Top Eliminator, need your boats at the in-ramp, please. Top Eliminator, need you guys at the in-ramp. Pro Eliminator, you guys should be warmed up, ready to go. Quick Eliminator, you guys should be geared. Grab your gear anyway, don't put it on yet, it's hot. Make sure you got fuel in the boat, batteries charged, air tanks full, plugs in the boat, whatever else you need to do. But get ready, because you guys are on deck. If everything goes as planned, which is 100% what we hope for, we are about 30 minutes away from some top fuel hydro action in San Angelo, Texas. I do not believe I have done it yet, but I want to take just a second and send out a big shout out to all the folks out there on the internet that are watching on Racer H2O. We appreciate y'all joining in. In the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 877 is Justin Stewart. He calls the boat White Girl, racing out of Austin, Texas. Sponsored by RB Props, Infamous Brewery, Aquatic Balance Pool Services, and special thanks to Bill Diaz, Bob York, Steve and Kayla Brady, Ryan Harper, Jackson and Sydney Stewart. And in the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 0647 is Garrick Snyder, calls the one Young Gun. He's dialed in at a 9 and 35. Nephew to Blackie Bame, oldest brother for Garrick and Grant Snyder. Sponsored by Rio Medina Truck and Auto, Rio Fab and Weld, Lilly Construction, Custom Powder Coating, Four-Way Bar, Damon Decker, and 212 Athletics. I thought for a minute there that Justin Stewart didn't even make it off the line. He was lost in a rooster tail, but I found him. Took him 2.2 seconds to get off the line. Way on the wrong side of the decimal point there. But he dialed in a 9.4, ran a 9.52 with a 7. And that is good enough for the number 2 qualifying spot. So he'll be happy with that run for sure. Hopefully, whatever it was that slowed him down at the small end, we'll get that taken care of. Garrick Snyder on the other side, now your number 1 qualifier. Dialed in at a 9.35, ran a 9.46 with a 7 for an 85-mile-an-hour pass. And up next in the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 311 is Andrew Decker. He calls that boat in too deep. Out of Buckholz, Texas, sponsored by GNC Machinery, Robert Moore, Easy Tire, CMT Mobile Services, Samantha, Danny and Christine Springer, and Lookin' Pretty Decals, and thanks to his wife and kids. And in the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, that little outboard over there is called Little Bud. That is Melton Whittlesey. Dialed in at an 8 flat, modified eliminator now. He's not dialed in. 8 seconds the index. And I don't know what happened, but we shut down the course. Looks like maybe Melton Whittlesey got a little sideways up there is what it looks like. They'll see what they can do and get that squared away real quick. Yeah, it looks like that's what happened. He drifted a little bit, got too close to the start barge. Gary didn't like that very much, so he said, no, let's hold out, move him over just a little bit. All right, we're going to try this again. We got 23 seconds on the countdown. Melton Whittlesey and Little Bud, boat number 402, is going to be in the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane. He's sponsored by Infamous Brewery. And in the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 311. That still didn't work out. Top eliminator. We need you guys at the in-ramp, please. Top eliminator. Need you guys at the in-ramp, please. Top eliminator. Need your boats at the in-ramp. You guys are running way late. Pro eliminator. You guys should be warmed up, ready to go. Quick eliminator, be on deck. Top eliminator. You guys are running way late. We need your boats at the in-ramp, please. Top eliminator. All right, there we go. Top eliminator. This is your final call. Top eliminator. Final call to the in-ramp. Pro eliminator. Go ahead and start bringing them, please. Pro eliminator. Start bringing them to the in-ramp. Quick eliminator. Need you guys warmed up and ready to go. All right, we're going to try this again. 5 seconds to go. Melton Whittlesey and Little Bud in the right lane. Andrew Decker in too deep in the left. I am not sure what happened there. Melton Whittlesey, that little hot rod usually does a whole lot better than that. Ran an 8.36 with a 9. Andrew Decker, now your number 1 qualifier with a 8.00 and 3. 8.00 and 3 on an 8-second index. Your next pair in the Superior Audio Sounds left-hand lane, boat number 794, is going to be Lane McDonald. Calls that boat High Voltage, sponsored by Bloomer Trailers, All-Tex Welding, Pat Kinsey Drywall, Tim Ortiz, SWAT Speed Marine, George Olson, Mom, Dad, Melanie, and his fiancee Caitlin. And in the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 517 is Mr. Jesse James Jr. He calls that boat Outlaw, racing out of Tyler, Texas. Sponsored by Lone Star Millworks, David and Carrie Muller, Cedarbuilt, Eagle Motorsports, and JCD. 8 seconds is the index for Modified Eliminator. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So Lane McDonald on an 8-second index ran a 7.99 with a 9. 7.99 with a 9. Jesse James on the other side ran a little fast as well, ran a 7.99 with a 5. All right, here comes your next pair in the Superior Audio Sounds left lane. Boat number 1111. It's going to be Stephen Walls, calls that boat Happy Hour, sponsored by Fastline Fabrications, Walls Tractor Repair, Buddy E.S. Johnson, Joe Yarbrough, FPC Services, James and Judy Sheffield, Wayman Pritchard Incorporated, Schaefer Oils, O'Reilly Auto Parts, San Angelo, Williams R. Pascal and Sons Fine Woodworking, Extreme Barbecue, and his crew, Jolene, Steve, Steven, Sella, Bruce, Michelle, and Tag. And in the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane is boat number 157. That is James Kemp. He calls that boat Side Chick. Sponsored by J&J Transportation, 4K Enterprises, Ranchero Concepts, Eagle Motorsports, Guy Hand Motorsports, FloatFix.com in Tyler, Texas. 8 seconds is the index, and there's 3 seconds left on the countdown. James Kemp moves himself into the number 2 qualifying spot with an 8.007. 8.007, 97-mile-an-hour pass. On the other side, Stephen Walls just a little fast, ran a 7.97 with a 6 on an 8-second index.
I haven't seen the people that set it up yesterday when we were here either, so I didn't.
Pro Eliminator, need your boats at the in-ramp, please. Pro Eliminator, need your boats at the in-ramp. I felt some random person just came up, started spraying sunscreen on me. It was my son. I said thank you anyway. Pro Eliminator, need your boats at the in-ramp, please. And we are about 35, 40 minutes away from some Top Fuel hydro action, hopefully. All right, next up, in the Superior Audio Sounds left-hand lane, boat number 572 is Tyler Boehm out of Rio Medina, Texas. Calls that boat the Slippery Pickle. Sponsored by Walton Construction Services, Rio Medina Truck and Auto, BBC Farms, Custom Powder Coating, Texas Car Barn, Trinity Racing Ministries, and special thanks to the entire crew, Mama Kay, Stephanie, Daniel, Caden, Austin, Shane, Tim, and Cheryl. And in the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 0657, they call that one Big Iron. That's Grant Snyder. Sponsored by Rio Medina Truck and Auto, Rio Fab and Welding, Lily Construction, Custom Powder Coating, 4-Way Bar, Damon Decker, 212 Athletics, Jeff Gibson Insurance, Racers Insuring Racers, Guild Mortgage, Regan and Angie Everett, Rowdy Tees, R&S Construction, Poor Boys Diesel, Illuma Lighting, and Chasing Oil. Tyler Mame in the left lane, running on an 8-second index, ran an 8:39 with a 3. 8:39 with a 3. That'll give him the number 4 qualifying spot. Grant Snyder now in the number 5 spot, ran an 8:96 and 7 for an 83-mile-an-hour pass. Next up in the Superior Audio Sounds left-hand lane, boat number 000. That is C.D. Word out of San Angelo, Texas. Calls that boat Rockets Red Glare. 8 seconds is the index. And I believe this is the last of our modified eliminators. All right, we got everything good to go. C.D. Word is in the left lane, boat number 000. They call that one Rockets Red Glare. All right, he ran an 8:73 and 2, 8:73 with a 2 on 34 hundredths of a second for a reaction time, and that's good enough for the number 5 qualifying spot through the first round. All right, here we go, moving into top eliminator now on a 7-second index. In the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 050 is Bob Winder out of Lake Hills, Texas. He calls that boat Mama's Diamond. Sponsored by Merrick Brothers, Hudson's Automotive, Site Pro, United Rentals, L&W Materials, Action Gypsum, Lone Star Materials, and United Tool. In the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane is Ashley Winslet. Calls the boat Vanishing Breed, boat number 655 out of Dallas, Texas. Sponsored by Rebecca Banks. Thanks to Mom, Dad, Brian, Chantal, Ryder, Nancy Stacks, Bill Diaz Racing for the Davises. My mentors and family, Jerry, Nancy, and Max Racing in Heaven. You will be missed. All right, Pro Eliminator, this is your final call. Pro Eliminator, your final call to the in-ramp, please. Quick Eliminator. Quick Eliminator, I'm ready for your boats at the in-ramp, please. Quick Eliminator, ready for you guys at the in-ramp. Pro Eliminator, this is your final call. Quick Eliminator, I need you guys at the in-ramp, please. They both got there early. It won't hurt them today, but tomorrow it'll be a big deal. Bob Winder and Mama's Diamond ran a 7:18 with a 9, 7:18 and 9 on a 7-second index. Ashley Winslet ran a 7.12 with a 2. Next pair in the Superior Audio Sounds left-hand lane is boat number 715. That's going to be Jerry Branham out of Tyler, Texas. Calls the boat Back in Black. Sponsored by, well, WeSellGrass.com, Eagle Motorsports, Lone Star Pump, FloatFix.com, Pumps by Chop. And in the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane is boat number 494. That's George Olson out of Galveston, Texas. Calls the boat Money Well Wasted. Sponsored by Olson Piling.
Morning, sir. Good to see you.
So Jerry Branham in the Back in Black machine will move to the number 3 qualifying spot with a 7.13 and a 2. 7.13 and 2. George Olson on the other side, though, now your number 1 qualifier. Ran a 7.08 with a 5, 7.08 with a 5, 112 mile an hour pass. And in the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 828 is Kevin Conklin out of Midland, Texas. He calls that boat Texas High Risk, driving for Jim Burns. That boat's a Curtis powered by Chevrolet. And special thanks going out to Bethany and Daniel Lindley, Tap Magic Cutting Oil, Hendrick Motors, and the entire crew that always supports us, Wayman Pitchford Incorporated, and Universal Equipment Rentals and Sales. In the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 990 is Steven Sutton. He calls his boat Borrowed Money. 7 seconds is the index. Garrett Snyder and Grant Snyder, need you guys to go to registration, please. Garrett Snyder and Grant Snyder, need you guys to go to registration, please. Stacy needs to see you. Garrett and Grant Snyder. Y'all need to go to registration and see Stacy. Got 20 seconds on the countdown. Kevin Conklin in Texas High Risk in the left lane. Steven Sutton Borrowed Money in the right. Top eliminator running on a 7-second index. Quick eliminator, you guys should be headed to the in-ramp, please. Quick eliminator should be headed to the in-ramp. They both jumped early and turned it red, but Kevin Conklin ran a 7.04 with a 1, 7.04 with a 1 for a 118 mile an hour pass. That's good enough for the number 1 qualifying spot in the first round. Steven Sutton on the other side on a 7-second index ran a 7.57 with a 9, and that'll give him the number 6 qualifying spot. Got 7 boats in the class, so I know he's going to want to get a little higher than that. We'll see how it goes. There's still 2 more rounds of qualifying to go. Quick eliminator, you guys should be headed to the in-ramp. Quick eliminator, excuse me, you guys should be headed to the in-ramp. All right, the last of our top eliminators on a 7-second index all the way down from El Reno, Oklahoma is going to be Mr. Matt Miller. Calls that boat Miller Time, boat number 405 rather. Sponsored by Miller Excavation, Huffman Performance, Smoke on the Water, and Allie, Radley, and Hazel. look right there. Matt Miller going to be a happy camper, I promise you that. He ran a 7:0065. 7:0065 at 108 miles an hour, and that put him in the #1 qualifying spot. And that spot will be tough to take away, that is for sure. All right, Chad Cuppet back up to make another license pass in the boat he calls Warpath out of Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Oh, it's Cupid. Chad Cupid is the name of the driver. Boat number 465. He's looking to license into Pro Eliminator on a 6.5 index, and I believe he did a half track a while ago. I believe it's going to be a full track pass. This is your final call for Quick Eliminator. Quick Eliminator, this is your last call. We need your boats at the in-ramp. All right, that was Chad Cupid making a license pass. They're making decisions over here, so once they get that released, we'll let you know. And now we got pro eliminators rather. These guys run on a 6.5 second index. And Mr. Gavin Snyder is going to be your first pro eliminator in the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane. Boat number 657 calls it 6 to midnight. 6.5 seconds is the index. Something not right. You see Gavin looking back, trying to see, I suspect, trying to look at gauges. They have a lot of those mounted just on the side of the block someplace. Little Smoky, he may have had an oil issue. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's nothing major, and we can get him squared away. So I talked earlier about our rescue guys, and you see the jet boat going out there, and you also see the rescue boat going out there. They're going to go check on him, make sure he's okay, make sure he's not got a little engine fire or anything like that going on. As I said before, we got EMTs on those boats, we got firefighters on there, and we got divers on there, so pretty much whatever we need to do. It didn't sound right when Gavin left the line. You could hear it. Something kind of popped. It went a little poppy. I actually still see a tiny bit of smoke there, so he may have had an oil leak. Something happened. Hopefully it's nothing crazy and catastrophic, and it's a quick, easy fix, and he can get right back on the water for the next round. We'll see what happens. He's going to have a little time to work on that, but tough luck for Gavin. That is not the way he wanted that run to go at all. I can pretty much guarantee it. We'll get him towed back to the out ramp and get him on a trailer and let him get back to the pit and see if he can figure that out real fast. All right, here we go. In the Superior Audio Sounds left lane is boat number 895K. That is going to be Ty Bolwig. That boat's a watercraft hydro powered by a Keith Black Chevrolet. Sponsored by Bolwig Electric and Refrigeration, Wicks Truck and Trailers of Kansas City. Ty Bolwig. Boat number 895K, he's in that left lane. Calls the boat High Plains Drifter. Chad Cupid, we need you to the tower, please. Chad Cupid, we need you to come to the timing tower, please. All right, here we go. Ty Bolwig. That's a nice looking machine. Pretty nice run right there. Actually gives him the #1 qualifying spot with a 7:10 and 2. It looked faster than that. But either way, 110 mile an hour pass, and it's good enough because Gavin Snyder didn't, his run was way slower than that because he had that engine issue. So there you go. Ty Bolwig will be your #1 qualifier coming into the second round. We'll see how that goes. All right, so I got a little bit of a break in the action here. I actually just saw Nitro Nuts go by on the back road, so we are minutes away from Top Fuel Hydro action, and the excitement is mounting. Hey, all you folks out there in Racer H2O land, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. If you're here, and you're maybe not going to be here tomorrow, I don't understand that, but you should be here tomorrow. But if you're not going to be, you can log in to Racer H2O on the World Wide Web, and you can watch all of this being live streamed on the internet from the comfort of your home in the air conditioning, which I think is probably the only acceptable reason for not being here tomorrow. But either way, If you can't be here, you can log into racerh2o.com and you'll find a link to their live stream, or you can go to YouTube and you can search Racer H2O and you will find them. And then you can watch all of the action live on whatever personal device you have that logs on to the internet. Pretty cool stuff, and we're super excited to have them. They've been paired up with us all season long, and we're super excited for those guys. Thank you very much. Hey, while we got a quick break, let me remind you we got a whole bunch of vendors set up back here on what I'm calling Vendor Row, but it's right back here on the backside by the water, across the road over there. We got Drag Boat Review set up there. Also, RESP, I believe, is right there with Drag Boat Review. They're selling raffle tickets for a Yeti 110 cooler that'll be raffled off in California at the NJBA final in November. You don't have to be there to win. And then I'll tell you the rest of those in just a minute. But first, we got some quick eliminator action to take care of. These guys running on a 6-second index. And in the Superior Audio Sounds left lane is boat number 426. That is Steve Pruitt. Hold my beer and watch this out of Midland, Texas. This hydro dedicated to all veterans and our fighting forces who answer the call. Sponsored by Lilly Construction, Dave and Jana Wilson, Ozona, Texas. Lido Properties in Midland. And special thanks to Wayman Pitchford, Hydro 2-time Wayman Pitchford. There you go, 2-time driver of the year. In the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 505 is Brody Martin. Calls that one in the red. Sponsored by Phil's Automotive, Bandera Auto and Truck Supply, Napa Propane Depot, Jasper Engines, and would also like to thank Misty Salisbury and Jason Salisbury for helping us make this happen with loving memory of James Salisbury. 6 seconds is the index. There we go, our first pair of quick eliminator. Steve Pruitt, hold my beer and watch this in the left lane. On a 6-second index, ran a little fast and broke out by 62 thousandths of a second. Ran a 593 with a 7, 593 with a 7. 147 mile an hour pass. In the Hawkins Battery and Golf Cars right-hand lane, Brody Martin in the red. Ran a 628 with a 4. For 133 mile an hour pass, and that'll make him the number 1 qualifier. And your next pair looks like this. In the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 392 is Jason Goddard out of San Angelo, Texas. Calls the boat Texas Red. Sponsored by Buddy Johnson, Steve Pruitt, Travis and Kim Dusick, Fastline Fabrication Walls, Tractor, Wayman Pitchford, James Brown, Judy Sheffield, FPC Services. Special thanks to the crew chief, Terry Marshall, and his family. Wayne Jackson, Joe Yarbrough, Jerry and Jessica Hardwick, Bruce and Sella Hodges, all helping out. And in the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 910 is Larry Flores. Made the long haul all the way over here from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Sponsored by Dynamic Racing Engines, Pine Top Construction. Thanks to his wife, Kim Flores, who should be watching at home. Hi, Kimmy, we miss you. Special thanks to Tom Garcia and all the shop boys, the Body Works, and the good Lord above. And he calls his boat Hydro Climatic. 6 seconds is the index. Jason Goddard in Texas Red runs a 6.209. 6.209 on a 6-second index for 118 miles an hour. Larry Flores in the right lane ran a 6.13. 6.13 on a 6-second index And that'll make him the #1 qualifier at the moment. Now I got a little break, so give me just a second. I'll tell you more about our vendors back here.
Toughest security in the world, Craig.
All right, here we go. Let's talk a little bit about these vendors back here behind us. We got Drag Boat Review and RESP. They're set up right back here. I was talking about they have a raffle. They're raffling off a Yeti 110 cooler. That thing's worth about $500. $5 a ticket. They will do the drawing at the NJBA race, their final race actually in Bakersfield, California. That'll be held in November. You don't have to be there to win. They'll make arrangements and they'll get that taken away for you. San Angelo RV is back here behind us. Mimi's Busy Bees, Sings My Soul Boutique, Lone Star IV Medics are set up back there. Audio Sounds and Window Tinting, West Texas Country Designs, and Hawkins Golf Cart and Golf and Batteries. They're back there as well. So that's all of our vendors. And then we have the SDBA merchandise trailer set up back there as well. Emily taking care of the business for us. She's got SDBA hats, t-shirts. She's got event shirts from the Showdown in San Angelo. She's got $20 tickets for a Yeti Roadie 25 cooler worth about $250. That winner will be picked at the end of qualifying today, so you can go by and get a ticket for that. She also has a whole bunch of our racers shirts over there. So if you see one of these guys and you just really like the way that boat looks, or you like the person, or you whatever the case may be, and you just feel like you need a shirt, well then come on. Jay Hudgens Aquaholic, they've got shirts from there. They've got Nitro Nuts, Liquid Voodoo, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, Bad Company, A Little More Therapy, Wild Thing, Say When, Don't Blink, Out of Reach, Through the Fire. They also have shirts from Curtis 500 Boats and Trinity Ministries back there as well. Speaking of Through the Fire, Ken Jenkins is in the right lane, boat number 110. That boat's a Cole powered by Chevrolet. Racing for Mother Carol from Virginia. I think this is her first boat race. I think that's what that meant. I think I got it figured out. So his mother Carol is here from Virginia, and this is her first boat race. I think that's what it's supposed to be. I got this. Woo! Makes that look good, doesn't he? Got it there a little early, turned it red by 0.12 of a second. Doesn't matter today. But then ran a little fast at the big end as well, 72 thousandths of a second too fast, ran a 5:92 with a 7 on a 6-second index, and that'll put him in the number 5 qualifying spot. All right, so I told you earlier we were minutes away from Top Fuel Hydro action. So here's the scoop. They are lined up at the in-ramp and getting ready to put those guys in the water. As I said earlier, and this is not a dig at anybody, but when those guys are on the water, they are fast. When they are on land, everything moves slow. And honestly, the reason for that is because there are so many things that they need to make sure they've got all squared away so that safety becomes job one. So they're taking their time, moving slow, getting things going, and we're happy to have them do that. So there you go. I was talking a little while ago about RESP. They also will be having a silent auction. That'll be held at the July 16th Duel on the Brazos in Waco. So,
Yes, sir. Yeah. No,
But I was there on Saturday. Oh, yeah. And then all that driver had was an awesome daughter or something like that. So I think it was raised on something.
well,
A couple of people.
just the one and Nitro Nuts, but he didn't run on Sunday. It was too windy. They shut it down at probably, well, they stopped at around 11 a.m. and they called it around 2 or 3 p.m. And then did the post-race show, because I videoed the post-race show, sitting there for 3.5, 4 hours waiting on it.
See, that's the first thing I checked because I was up there in Rhode Island. I was going to and the wind was blowing. And I was talking with, take the part of the boat. Anyway.
all right, so quick correction for you. I was naming off the T-shirts earlier, and I was corrected. They actually have Whiskey Tango shirts, not Whiskey Tango Foxtrot shirts. 2 different boats, 2 different machines, and I had the wrong crew on my paperwork. So Whiskey Tango, the Pro Comp Flat, they have those shirts back here at the SDBA merchandise trailer, as well as all those other ones that I just rattled off. So be sure and go by and see Emily. Tell her I sent you. It won't get you anything, but just, you know, you can tell her I sent you. So for all you folks up and down the water here, we've got a whole lot of fans here today. We're super excited to see you guys. Y'all are the only ones I can see right now, so I'm going to wave at you. We're glad you're here. The rest of you folks, I'm glad you guys are here too. My name is Mike Starr, by the way, and I'm guiding through the weekend here at the Southern Drag Boat Association. We're super stoked y'all came out to join us. If it's your very first time watching a drag boat race, welcome to the family. You will be hooked and you will be back. I can promise you that. 25 years ago, I went to my first drag boat race, and I'm still here today doing this thing all over the country, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it. It's a whole lot of fun. So if you've been here before, welcome back. We're super glad you decided to come back and hang out with us, and we'll go from there. So we do have Top Fuel Hydro getting on the water. We have 3 of them on the property this weekend, and we are super excited about that. It is going to get loud, it is going to get fast, and it is going to be a whole lot of fun. For those of you that are along the water that have not ever seen a Top Fuel boat run, I would tell you to sit tight. You brought a whole chair, but you're probably only going to need one part of it, like the very front is all you're really going to need during that run. If you got little kids, though, real quick, while I'm at it, if you got little kids in your area or whatever, find a way to cover their ears, because these boats are loud, and it'll definitely freak them out. Also, if you got dogs, try to keep them kind of close to you, because I know my dog runs like a madman every time a boat runs. So there is all of that, and we will get you more information here very, very shortly. So while I do have a couple of minutes, I will tell you a little bit about our course for those of you that are joining us for the very first time. Let me get down here. So here's how this thing works. Obviously, you've seen them running already. So way down there at that end of the course, not so very far away, is the starting line, and there is a holding rope down there. You see that rope going across? You may or may not be able to see that. But The boats will line up on that holding rope. They hang onto that rope, and that helps them keep it straight, keep it going the right way, and ready to go when they get going. There's a guy standing out there on that barge. You can't see it now because there's a rescue boat in the way, at least from my vantage point, but the guy's name is Gary. We like Gary. Gary does good work out there. His job is to keep this thing running and running smooth, and he does a really good job of it. But he will check in with each driver. If it's a dial-in class, he's going to find out what their dial-in is. And then if it's an index class, he's going to make sure they're ready, give them a quick once-over from his vantage point, make sure everything looks good, and then he's going to get a thumbs up from both drivers. Once he gets that, in the meantime of that, actually, he's calling up numbers up here to us in the tower. They plug those into the computer. That way we can see who's where and what they're doing. And then he gets a thumbs up from each driver. He calls back down here and says, start the tree or go yellow or whatever the case may be. And when he does, we start the tree. So if you can see down there at the far end, the tree. ProJet and ProComp Flat, I need you guys warmed up, ready to go, please. ProJet and ProComp Flat, need you guys warmed up, ready to go. ProJet and ProComp Flat, need you warmed up. All right, back to the course. So we've got the tree sitting out there in the middle. It works a whole lot like a drag tree in any other drag racing. The difference is that we have to do a running start with boats because it's a little hard to do a dead stop start. And so they will get a flashing yellow for 25 seconds, then they'll get a solid yellow for 5.
Well, security.
And at the end of that 5, they should have motor running, gear ready to go, capsule down, all of that stuff needs to be handled. And then they will get a countdown that goes from 9 to 0 in half-second increments. And they need to know what number in that 9 to 0 they need to leave that holding rope at in order to be even with the start line right at the very beginning or when the light turns green. So that's the way that works. If they get there too early, they turn it red, earn themselves a red light. During elimination, that'll get you eliminated. During qualifying, it's really not making a huge difference. Oops, sorry. And then they're going to make their way down this course. Down here at the far end, those red buoys, that's our finish line. That is 1,000 foot. We don't run a quarter mile full anymore. Insurance, boats got too fast. Insurance said, whoa, you guys need to slow it down a little bit. So shorten the course, quickest way to slow everybody down. So that's what we did. Then you see this next line is 875. The next line over there at the yellow buoys is 660. And we use those for different finish lines. So the red one is the finish line for almost all of our classes. The blue and green buoy right here is going to be the finish line for Top Fuel Hydro. They're going to stop just a little bit faster. And then ProComp Flat is going to stop over here at this yellow buoy. That's their finish line. And that's the way that's going to look. We'll talk more about those when they get up there. And then way down there at the other end, we got our out ramp. The boats go down there. They get lined out. They pull them onto the trailer. They take them back to the pit, reset them, get them ready for the next race. So that's how our course works. If you look over on the far side over there, it's actually in the water. I mean, on the land today. But that little timing clock over there will give you all of the information that I'm giving you, basically, at the end of the race. It'll give you the reaction time. It'll give you mile per hour. It'll give you an ET. It'll tell you just about whatever you need to know about that race. And there'll be a flashing light over there somewhere that will tell you which lane was your winner tomorrow during elimination. So there you go. You are officially an expert now on drag boat racing course setup, which is good because there'll be a short quiz next hour. ProJet and ProComp Flat. Need you guys warmed up and ready to go, please. ProJet and ProComp Flat. Need you guys warmed up and ready to go. And Nitro Nuts is backing into the water right now. Top Fuel Hydro will be on the line momentarily. How many of you folks down the lane here have seen a Top Fuel Hydro run before? Just a few. The rest of y'all, y'all in for a treat. It's so much fun. It's loud, it's big. You'll feel it in your chest. You'll feel it in your toes. And it's a whole lot of fun. Y'all give a big shout out to Jimmy Todd and the rescue crew right here as they go by the way. These guys, holy cow, we couldn't do the job without them, that's for sure. But we appreciate y'all. The plan is for them to do exactly what they're doing right now all day long. Just drive up and down the course, enjoy a nice day on the lake. Never.
RacerH2O.com is the place to go to find easy-to-use links to our social media. Watch, read, listen to, and enjoy our content on demand for free on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and RacerH2O.com.
Oh, good. Hey, tow vehicle drivers, couple of announcements real quick. Number one, please make sure you're monitoring 87.9 FM. Tow vehicle drivers, make sure they're monitoring 87.9. Also, a quick reminder, please, we need y'all to slow down in the pit, and we need y'all to slow down on the dirt road going back around to the out ramp. You gotta slow down back there. We've had racers get rocks thrown at them already from people hauling butt down that road, so we really need y'all to slow down back there. Take it nice and easy. Let's not kick up any dust. I know you guys are in a hurry to get back down to the other end and maybe get to see your boat run, but it's not worth getting somebody hurt. We put a rock in somebody's eye or hurt somebody's boat, there's going to be issues. So please slow down both in the pit area and on the road coming back around to the out ramp. We need y'all to slow down, please. Let's be safe. All right, ProJet and ProComp Flat, we're ready for your boats at the in-ramp, please. ProJet and ProComp Flat, we're ready for your boats at the in-ramp. Pro Outlaw, start warming them up, get ready, please. Pro Outlaw, start warming them up. And that means Pro Modified, you guys are on deck, grab your gear. Look at there, that is a beautiful thing down there. We got nitro nuts sitting on the line and ready to go. We're hoping we're going to have side-by-side action tomorrow, so y'all see how that goes. Mike Robbins and Nitro Nuts. They're racing out of Youngsville, North Carolina. That boat's an Illusion Concept powered by 557 cubic inches of Hemi. How many horsepower y'all putting out? About 1,100 horsepower, 11,000 horsepower. I was like, wait, that's not right. 11,000 horsepower coming out of that machine. 2018 World Champion in Top Fuel Hydro, SDBA mile per hour and ET record holder, and responsible for keeping Top Fuel Hydro alive. They've been out there doing their thing. Sponsored by 9A Ranch, Buck and Bulls, JP Sport Fishing Tours, Integrated Metal Products, Mac Tools, Victory Valves, Willems Equipment, Menkins Propellers, Jerko Supply, Flores Apartments in Parker Strip, Arizona, Winberg Crankshafts, Garrison Contractors, Hammer Superchargers, Roger Ray Racing, and special thanks to all the crew for all their hard work. The clock is running. There's 5 seconds. Watch that capsule. When it goes down, it is go time, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Robbins and Nitro Nuts. Here we go. I told you it was going to get loud. 3.29. 3.29, 220 mile an hour pass for Mike Robbins and Nitro Nuts. Yes. Top Fuel is back in San Angelo.
Yeah, you want to come back through here? Yeah. Then you stay out. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
That's when they were doing the 1,000. Yes. It's 3.09, 267. Every time he came out.
Less than a quarter mile, and that's cool. Yeah,
This right here, they're racing up to 875. But there's 125 foot at the start line. So they're basically racing about a foot because they get the full throttle. They're basically going from 125 foot to 8.
Hold on. Here goes Dad. Watch. It's short of a quarter. That's not why the speeds are different.
All right. They're putting liquid voodoo in the lanes now. Another Top Fuel Hydro. It's going to be boat number 5050. Team Carol Haas Racing. That's going to be Kevin Kinsley, your driver, out of Arlington, Texas.
Try to creep and get an angle somewhere. I tell you,
That boat's a Bullet with an AGPE engine. Sponsored by RJS, Racers Direct, Flatheads Eyewear, Sunco Racing Fuels, PDS Performance Data Systems, Menkins Racing Propellers, Kinsley Racing Cars and Marine, Scott Palmer Racing Junk, Scrappers Racing, Cowboy Bomb, Technical, WCR Construction, and Paramete Innovations. All of those folks helping to sponsor Liquid Voodoo.
Try to creep a little bit.
That boat, if you get the opportunity later on today, go wander around the pit area and take a look at some of these machines. This boat has an absolutely beautiful wrap. It is just amazing. Comes our other rescue guys. See, I told you, sitting there in their dive gear, ready to get in the water. They're ready.
And that's if they don't go something. 10,000 miles. Every time. 10,000. It's fuel and then the gloves. They'll take the gloves and burn them in half. There's nothing left in that glove. They burn it, put it down. Burn it in half.
Good down there, I can't see. Still right in the middle of the track, they're just hooking him up. I think, now they're all hooked up. That's the way I want it. Oh, I got him now. He's down there by that tree in that patio. Okay, I got him now. It's all right, you know. You're clear?
San Diego. California. Yeah, buddy. That's a long drive.
Okay,
ProJet and ProComp Flat, we're ready for your boats at the in-ramp, please. ProJet and ProComp Flat. We need your boats at the in-ramp,
Probably
please.
19 hours. To wait.
ProJet and ProComp Flat, need your boats at the in-ramp, please.
South Texas, drove out to Los Angeles, and I think it's 1,608 miles. Yeah, I drove from San Diego down to it was down to Miami. It took us we stopped a couple different cities because you have to. It took us 6 days. I went out to repossess a car, and I came back. It did not have a radio. Think how long that drive was. Oh. And I drove it nonstop. Going, yeah. And I was trying to sing to myself, and I cannot carry a pitch. That'd be brutal. Yes. That's so you just get your phone. No, I didn't have a phone back then. I had a little beam me up. Oh yeah, little flip deal. Yeah. And I got one of those daggone smartphones. I leave it at the house. I don't care damn thing because I don't know how to work it.
Kevin Kinsley and Liquid Voodoo in the lane.
I was telling him, I was like, we don't need to fix it. I'm like, this
Top Fuel Hydro.
We flew into Fort Worth.
We just saw Nitro Nuts make his pass. Ran a 220 mile an hour pass at 329.
Track it up to Waco, pick up the down. Oh, okay, I got you. That's it? Yes, it is.
And they tell me now they're putting Shockwave in the water as well. That's going to be Tyler Spear. All three Top Fuel Hydros. Like I said, moves a little slow getting them there because we want to keep them safe, make sure everything works exactly the way we want it to.
They ripped off the
No
Raptor
issues.
engines, the Raptor engines.
But once they run,
Here, 3 counties away.
No, really. It shakes the ground.
It shakes. Do you think this is loud? That thing had the whole truck on.
10,000 horsepower strapped onto the back of a little bitty boat. One guy locked down in a capsule making it run. Kevin Kinsley is that guy right now. Liquid Voodoo, the name of the machine. 20 seconds left on the countdown. Top Fuel Hydro. Watch that capsule. Once it goes down, it's a good time to hit that record button. That got way squirrelier than Kevin wanted. And he did exactly what he needed to do. It got squirrely, got sideways on him, or not sideways, but it definitely was hopping around, got way squirrelier than he wanted, and he shut it down, which was exactly the right thing to do.
Crank it up. Okay, that was fun. I don't want to piss it out.
He was flat moving at the beginning, though. He still managed to cross the 875 line at a 7.6. So they'll take it back to the trailer, back to the pit, make sure nothing got tore up and be good to go. It just got a little squirrely on him. It happens. That's a whole lot of horsepower pushing you out of there.
Which one's next? Voodoo?
Shockwave.
Shockwave, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of glad they didn't single pass because there's only 3. There's only 3, so this way it kind of, because it'd be like 2 and then 1. It'd be like. Well, the thing is, if one spits and sputters and the other one goes, your eyeballs can't go. Right. Do like a pug. Your eyeballs start wandering around. Yeah.
Stays in that video.
I know. Well, I was there about 4 or 5 years ago. I was sitting right down at the point. Yeah. And when they sitting and it's coming right towards us, and I started to run. And I said, Tom, don't run. He said, why? Yeah, that's how I would do it. How many times? And the bolt hit that point.
Pro Comp Flat, we need your votes to the in-ramp, please. Pro Comp Flat. Rich is feeling lonely down there. Y'all need to go by and say hello. He needs you. Pro Comp Flat, we need your votes at the in-ramp, please.
I don't think I can do it. I might have got the
Pro Jet, we need your vote to the in-ramp, please. Pro Jet, this is your final call. We need you at the in-ramp. Pro Jet, your final call. We need you at the in-ramp. Pro Outlaw, we're ready for your votes at the in-ramp. Pro Outlaw, go ahead and start bringing them that way. Pro Modified, start warming them up and get ready. Pro Modified, start warming them up, get ready. Pro Outlaw, we need your votes at the in-ramp. Pro Jet, your last call.
Yes, but this is brand new, so this is the first time we've seen it. This is the first one. Tyler, but he's only going to be doing, I think they said he's going to go 5.
Yeah, he's not even to the point down there yet. It's going to be a minute.
We got the last Top Fuel Hydro in the lane. That's going to be Tyler Spear. He calls that boat Shockwave. Boat number 131 out of Woodstock, Georgia. Current ET record holder with a 3.10. This kid's got more records than you could count. 2021 Pro Mod High Points champion. 2018 Top Fuel Hydro runner-up. World champ. 2016 Pro Mod World champ. 2019 Pro Mod High Points champ. And 2018 Pro Outlaw World Champ. He also runs race cars for the ARCA. And he is sponsored by Pitchford Oil, Timberlake Whiskey, Timbercraft Whiskey rather, Don Wild Racecraft, Pro Boat, Hedman Hustler Headers, NGK Spark Plugs, VP Race Fuels, Red Horse Fittings, XS Batteries, Jet Tools, and RB Props. That boat's an Ellison with a Brad Anderson engine for power. Racing out of Woodstock, Georgia, driving for Bob and Sue Montgomery, Tyler Spear, and Shockwave is going to be in the right-hand lane. Our third and final Top Fuel Hydro of the day. Tomorrow the plan is to see them side by side.
He's behind everything, so we're going to go.
If everything goes as planned. All right, Gary says, let's do this thing. We got 30 seconds on the countdown. Tyler Spear and Shockwave, Top Fuel Hydro, making a qualifying pass. You couldn't ask for better water right now. It is absolutely amazing. 10,000 horsepower about to be unleashed. It could get loud. It will get fast, and it will be exciting. Here we go. His chutes popped out right at the very beginning. I'm not sure what happened. I don't believe that was planned, but he launched, and right after that, you could see the chutes already starting to deploy. And it'd be real hard to make a run dragging those things through the water. I don't think he even knew it for sure. I think he was trying, but it was holding him back, and he finally shut it down because he realized something wasn't right there. Tough luck for Tyler Spear. That is definitely not the run they were looking for. All right, well, we'll check on Tyler. We'll make sure everything's all right. They'll get his chutes out of the water and get him back to the trailer, and hopefully they can figure out what happened there. And we'll see if they make it back down today or if we see them again tomorrow. But either way, that is not the run they were looking for. All right, I want to thank our sponsors, making it possible for us to be out here for Showdown in San Angelo at the Southern Drag Boat Association. I want to thank Racers Emergency Support Program, RESP, WCR Construction, DMPE Awnings, RJS Racing Equipment, Fathead Easy Eyewear, or Z7 Eyewear, excuse me, Seneca Racing Fuels, Extreme Racing Oil and Fuel, Racer H2O, Nitro 2 Outlet, RacerDirect.com, RacingJunk.com, Marty Logan's House of Color Motorsports, Trinity Racing Ministries, Pat Kinsey Drywall, Diesel Signs and Displays, Spring Creek, Superior Audio, Cookers for Christ, Walls Tractor, Fatheads, Extreme Oil, and Petro Communications. All of those folks helping to sponsor us here for the Showdown in San Angelo, and we are super proud to have them as our sponsors. All right, here we go, folks. We're moving into Pro Comp Flat. Pro Comp Flat running on a dial-in. And the first pair in the Superior Audio Sounds left-hand lane, boat number 238, is Vic Fugate. He calls that boat Flat Blacked Out. Racing out of Fort Worth, Texas. Special thanks to Brent Fugate, Tony Hendrick Racing Engines, Two Guys Marine, and David Carroll Racing. And in the Hawkins Battering Golf Carts right-hand lane, boat number 034 is Jeff Loring, all the way over from Los Alamos, New Mexico. He calls that boat Nasty Rumors. Sponsored by Jay and Lori Crocker. Thank you to all for all the support. Thanks to Jerry and Jessica Hardwick, Jeff Lindeman and his crew chief, Tony Elam. He's dialed in at a 585. Vic Fugate dialed in at a 6'8". missed one sponsor. It's going to be Precision Construction. They're providing our water truck, trying to keep the dust down for us back there. We're getting Tyler Spear pulled out of the shutdown area, and he'll head over to the out ramp, get that boat back on the trailer, and get those chutes repacked, and hopefully nothing major happen. I'm not sure. Most of the time, those are racer actuated, so I don't know exactly what happened in there. But one way or the other, that is not the run they were looking for. And now we're moving into Pro Comp Flat. These guys running on a dial-in. So they run anywhere between 5.8 and 6.8. 6.8 is the slowest they can run in competition. They're running all the way out to the 1,000-foot line here at the red buoys. And these little flat boats, you'll see a lot of them have a fin or a tail on them. Help keep that back end down in the water because they these little flat bottom boats are a whole lot of fun to watch, and if you, those of you that are sitting down here by the water, take a look at those boats as they go by. You'll see there's only a couple of inches worth of boats still sitting in the water as they make their pass. All right, here we go, Pro Comp Flat. We had a little issue, computer thing. We got it squared away real fast. In the Superior Audio Sounds left lane, boat number 238 is Vic Fugate, flat blacked out. And in the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, in the 034 machine he calls Nasty Rumors is Jeff Loring. There's 20 seconds left on the countdown. Pro Comp Flat making their first run of qualifying today in the showdown in San Angelo. So check this out, Jeff Loring, your #1 qualifier, on the first pass of the class, but either way, he dialed in at a 585 and ran a 6.12 with a 4. 6.12 with a 4. Vic Fugate dialed in a 6.8, ran a 7.09 with a 6. 131 mile an hour pass for Jeff Luring in that little flat bottom boat. Pro Outlaw, need your boats to the in-ramp, please. Pro Outlaw, I need your boats at the in-ramp. Pro Outlaw, need your boats at the in-ramp. And then I need Pro Modified, warming up, ready to go. Top alcohol flat, you guys are on deck after that. All right, your next pair in the Superior Audio Sounds left-hand lane, boat number 099 is Dylan Crownover, Bad Company 2, the name of the boat. He's driving for Jimmy Kinsey at Granite Shoals, Texas. Thanks to Grandma and Grandpa, Crownover Fence and Welding, J&M Kinsey's Plumbing, and in the Hawkins Battery Golf Cars right-hand lane, boat number 331 is Tim Ortiz. Calls that boat Never Satisfied out of Conroe, Texas. Sponsored by Pat Kinsey's Raw, Pat, Rhonda, Archer, Gage, and Cash. Thanks to his wife for supporting this crazy adventure, and big thanks to Milton and Jen Tolan for all their help. Tim Ortiz dialed in at a 6.8, ran a 6.97 with an 8, 6.97 with an 8, and that'll move him to the number 1 qualifying spot on a 118 mile an hour pass. Dylan Crownover dialed in at a 6.4, ran a 6.59 and 1, 6.59 with a